All right. Gonna you know what I'm saying, go live for a little bit. Tuck just had a hell of a morning show. So there's actually some things that I wanted to ask you guys this morning. Um, so I know that the Cowboys are gonna have a lot of undrafted, I mean not undrafted, sorry, unrestricted free agents in 2025. So what I kind of wanted to do was kind of wanted to talk to you guys, name a few names, and we'll just make it a little bit fun. We'll make it a little bit fun because I know that we only got one game left, and there's a lot of guys on that list. So let me see. I know I had it. I know I had it on my phone, but see, Inside the Star has one. All right, so throw the fire up in the chat, man. Throw the fire up in the chat, man. If y'all are ready for me to go, because there's a lot to talk about. I could talk about the free agents, who deserves contract extensions. We could talk about coaches. We could talk about all that. What's up, Keystone? What's going on, brother? How you feeling, man? How y'all feeling out there? And also hit that like button, man. Let everybody know that I'm here. What's up, Sadiqa? How you feeling? Good morning. I got my good morning coffee here. It's actually funny. So if y'all know who JC Cowboys is, right? Like I me and his wife Jazz, we that's like my sis. And she always talk about how bad Rise coffee is, but I ain't gonna lie to you, Rise coffee is kind of straight to me. It's not bad. Like it gives me the morning energy and stuff that I need. And I'm glad that Tuck went live because it got my ass up out of bed for me to get ready for work. And I got my stretch in, my full stretch. Like I was about to work out, to be honest with y'all, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna go live because I got something on the brain right now. All right, so let's see. This is an old ass article. Where the hell is that article? I think I'm gonna name a few people. I think I'm gonna name about 5 to 10 names on the list. And in the chat, what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to get put the red balloon up if you want to keep those people. Y'all know that emoji, or just say red balloon. And then if you guys are like let that person go, you know what I'm saying, you can put the little needle up. I know y'all watch them dating shows. That mess is funny, and maybe we'll bring that to our other show. But I felt like we could do that now. Let's see. So Osa, how do y'all feel about bringing Osa back? Do you guys keep the red balloon for Osa, or are we popping the balloon? Like how do we feel about that? Are we popping the balloon for Osa, or are we keeping him? I'm gonna leave that up to y'all, and then after we get a couple responses, I'll tell you guys how I feel about it. Um, how y'all feel about it? How y'all feel about Osa? We keeping the balloon or we popping it? Dang, nobody gonna respond. All right, I guess I'll respond. I think I'm gonna keep the red balloon. I think with Osa, with D tackle, it take a little bit of time. It take a little bit of time for a D tackle to really understand the speed of the game, understand J Money pop that joint. It takes a little bit of time to really understand the speed of the game, understand the strength, understand the discipline, understand the film, understand leverages. Um, it takes a lot of those. It takes a lot of those things in order to play D tackle when you're not just walk out of bed talent. You know, it takes a lot for things to align in order for you to be that, as a D tackle. So I think with Osa, I'm gonna keep him. I would keep my red balloon, but there's a stipulation to it though. The stipulation being, um, the stipulation being, okay, we got a magic number. We have a magic number in place for you. If you pass that magic number, then it is what it is. If you pass that magic number, that means this team is going to start you and we get that comp pick. And more than likely, that comp pick will be about what we gave in the draft to get him. You know what I'm saying? So I think that there's a trade-off there. If somebody's willing to pay Osa a lot of money, they're going to start him. He's going to get a lot of time, and that's going to down the road, that investment, it could mean another player. If we felt like Osa was good, then I feel like we probably could find another one to develop. So that's where I'm at with him. I'm not sure exactly what the market is for D tackles right now, but I think I might let Osa hit the market. And if he's around, if he goes 1 cent above what my magic number is, he got to go. Like, I'm sorry. So that's where I am with him. What about J. Lou, y'all? What about J. Lou? What's up, Latoya? How you feeling? What about J. Lou? Jordan Lewis. He's up for a deal. So we got red balloon or we popping it? How we feel about J. Lou? Sadika approves. Yep. Sadika approves. Where y'all at, man? Where y'all at in the chat, man? We dead today? Okay, Latoya, so we got the red balloon if we keeping them, and we got the little needle pop if we letting them go. All right, because it's kind of like the dating shows, right? As a fan base, for the people that were going to tune in, I was just saying, like, all right, so how we feel about it? How do we feel about J. Lou returning? For me, I got to keep my red balloon. He might be the first person that I'm going to re-sign. He's probably the first person that I re-sign. There's red balloon all day. Red balloon all day. I got to keep J. Lou. Because I feel like J. Lou is DC proof. I feel like he's gotten better with every DC that we brought in here. Every one of them. He's gotten better as a player. He had an unfortunate injury, I think a couple years back. But outside of that, J. Lou been playing lights out. Even when he's not playing at his very best, he's scrappy. I don't think that there's ever been a time that I don't want J. Lou on this team. Because he's the type of player that they try and sell you on that some of these other guys are. You don't got to really sell J. Lou to us. You've never had to sell J. Lou to us. The real fans, I don't think that I've ever really heard anybody say, damn, we need to cut J. Lou. Never heard it because of the type of scrappiness he is. And I know that you guys watched. If you guys had the opportunity to watch Dez Bryant and Tuck talk about it yesterday. Sorry about that. Got a little message. I'm checking my emails and stuff like that before work. And so I will say this. When J. Lou J. Lou was a rookie, you guys knew what camp practice was like. Everybody knew what camp practice was like with Dez. Dez shows up animated every day. Every day. It's just, he's a very, very passionate person. And I think a lot of the times, I have this issue about me too. Sometimes when you're so passionate, you know what I'm saying, you're all the way there. And when you're all the way there, like, when you're all the way there, you're all the way there, right? And that's Dez. You even heard him do it last night. And there's a segment on here that I'm going to actually talk about that a little bit. But, like, J. Lou matched that with Dez. You know what I'm saying? There were a lot of people on our team that were afraid of Dez in practice. They were afraid to go against him. They were afraid to compete because he was always here. And which is a problem in itself because I feel like we didn't have enough people like Dez. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have enough of Dez's. We didn't have enough of J. Lou's. But J. Lou if y'all remember I forget what the reality TV show is because I did a review of it. And when I saw that, I knew right then and there, oh, okay, got you. Got you. I knew it right then and there. So we talking about what? I don't know what year this is for J. Lou. I know he's a veteran, but I do know when you find a guy that's a slot corner. No, it wasn't Hard Knocks, J Money. It was the Amazon Prime special because it was Amazon Prime at the time. It wasn't Hard Knocks. It was something else. I forget what it was. It was something special they made for us. It was brand new. It wasn't Hard Knocks because Hard Knocks, Dez wasn't on the team. It was something else. I forget. But I knew then. And those are the type of guys you can win championships with. Like, if J. Lou gets out this building, like, he can go to what? Kansas City? He gonna go to a winner. Like, people, like, I know a winner when I see one. And I think J. Lou is one of those guys. So I know that I took a lot of time with J. Lou, but I say all that to say this. As passionate as Dez is, you found a guy that isn't as talented as Dez. You found a guy that's not as talented as Dez. And y'all make sure y'all hit that like button too. He's not as talented, but he is talented in his own right. He might be a little undersized with what is prototypical in the league, but the fight in that dog outweighs a lot of size in this league. So you got to have that red balloon for J. Lou. Have to. Have to. You know what I'm saying? I think Brock Hoffman's up. And so actually, hold on. I'm going to do this one. Zach Martin. Where y'all balloons at for Zach Martin? And then I'll talk about Brock Hoffman. I don't want to sway y'all. Zach Martin right now is going to be a 2025 free agent. Y'all have y'all red balloons for Zach Martin. Do you have your red balloon? I'm going to wait before I respond. J Money popped it. I'm going to wait for about 2 more responses. I'm going to wait for about 2 more responses before I give my feedback on that. So where are we with Zach Martin? Okay, we got a red balloon from Sadiqa. I think Latoya got a heart. So y'all, right now, majority is keep Zach Martin. I do know one thing. I'm a bit tired of some of these. I'm not going to say some of these old guys because Zach Martin's been around long enough to become one of the, okay, Keystone said pop the balloon. Zach Martin's been around long enough. And I get it. Hall of Fame career, decorated. He's done all of these things. He should be a Ring of Honor. He's a Hall of Famer. I don't know if he's going to be first ballot because we haven't won anything. But I think Zach Martin has been one of the best guards in football history. In history. You know, like, I ain't going to sit here and dog my man's career. Not going to dog his career. I actually wish that we could have put it together throughout his career. I wish that we would have been a little bit more aggressive in things that we could have done. I wish we would stop approaching everything like we're broke. You know, I wish that, like, we understood that. I wish that we understood that players' life cycles aren't, like, I think that a lot of times, and I was fighting people on this yesterday, I think that a lot of times we think that in first round, it has to be a 10-year player. You know what I'm saying? I think that a lot of times we think this person got to be around 10, 15 years, and they got to be around 10, 15 years at their prime level. Like, we don't look at people like, hell, I was just telling Tuck, hell, I got to put my knee brace on, bro. I consider myself at 38 years old to be in really good shape. Really good shape for a 38-year-old. I'm in way better shape at 38 than my father probably was, and his friends probably was. I mean, I would consider myself as a 38-year-old to probably be in the top 5% in the world of being in shape. Like, in shape for myself or in my prime? No. And that's kind of what I'm getting at. You know, it's kind of what I'm getting at. Time waits for no man. Time waits for no man. And every once in a while, especially when building a roster, sometimes you're going to find young, fresh legs, young, fresh attitude, you know what I'm saying? Young, fresh energy. And sometimes it's going to develop. And it doesn't mean that that talent is better than what you were. Doesn't mean that. Doesn't mean that at all. But what it means is that young, fresh talent can provide a little bit more than what you can at this moment for cheaper. That does happen. You know what I'm saying? And I get when the Cowboys want to get, you want to get your value, right? You want to get that. I think we're at a point now where we have to make a decision on what we're doing with Zach Martin. And Brock Hoffman, and the way that he's been able to step in and play the guard position, the way that TJ Bass has been able to step in and play the guard position, I think that you got to pop the balloon on Zach Martin. I think that you have to. You know what I'm saying? You pop the balloon, and if Zach is still able to play, he can go somewhere else and get him an opportunity at winning a ring. Would I be upset at that? No, I wouldn't. Because I don't think keeping Zach Martin currently, right now, I don't think keeping him is going to get us over the hump. I don't think it's like just keeping him. Like at that point, you're being selfish to the team and you're being selfish to him. So if Zach does still have some tread on the tires and he feel like he can go out there and contribute to a championship team, I just don't think it's here. You know, I don't think keeping Zach Martin, I don't even think going out and getting a couple of weapons with Zach Martin, with how he is right now, I just don't see that being a difference maker. So what do? You get younger. You know what I'm saying? You build an identity. You start building an identity like you had to when Zach went out, when D-Law went out. You know what I'm saying? You start to build an identity, and then you go with that. And guess what? It's paid dividends for us in other spots. I mean, if you look at Tony Romo and how things, it couldn't have happened at a more perfect time, really, because where would we have been if we didn't draft Dak that year? I think that we would have been looking for a quarterback for quite some time. And we could have been like Jacksonville. We could have been like, I mean, Cleveland was all right last year, but Cleveland, I mean, we could have been like Cleveland. We could have been like, I don't know. See, y'all want to know why Buffalo don't care that they keep having shortcomings? They don't care because the very best quarterback that they saw kept falling short in the big game. And this is the best chance. This is the best quarterback. This is the best opportunity that they have. This window right here is the best opportunity that they have at getting one. You know what I'm saying? This window. And I think that we were at that window. And I think right now we're kind of at the end of it. What's up, Tuck? What's up, bro? Hey, we in the middle of Pop the Balloon, bro. We in the middle of Pop the Balloon, and we on Zach Martin. And so I think that when you're blessed to be in a position, because I think that Dallas kind of wants to always be able to transition instead of falling all the way down. They want to be able to transition, change the guard, and still kind of stay here and then go up. They don't want to go all the way here and then go all the way up, right? They don't want to do that. And I think they need to, I personally believe we need to go all the way down and strip everything and then build it back up. That's kind of where I'm at. I've been that way for a while because I think going right here and then up There's a ceiling to that. But when you go down and then you go up, there's no ceiling to what you can become. When you keep staying here, you know what I'm saying? You're always going to keep moving with flaws. You're going to always keep moving with flaws. You're going to always keep moving with flaws. If y'all have ever cleaned anything, man, like you cleaned the bathroom or you ever cleaned a room or something like that, like, bro, you got to move everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a counter or something. Like, you got to move everything off the counter to clean it. And I think Dallas just be cleaning around the shit that's on the counter. That's what we be doing. So, but with that being said, I think with Brock Hoffman and TJ Bass, you got guys right now that can compete for his spot if he goes out. And guess what? These guys have had years of training. These guys have had years of game experience. And they're ready. They're ready to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I laughed at Philadelphia. I laughed when Jason Kelce retired. I laughed and I said to myself, man, y'all losing Reddick. Man, y'all losing Kelce. Y'all losing y'all losing those guys. Like, you don't know what you're gonna be. You ain't gonna be that good. I think y'all gonna take a step back. Philly took a step forward. They got better. This team right now, this Philly team right now, is better than the team from 2 years ago. In my opinion. In my opinion, I think that this team right now has the best opportunity for them. They do. And Cam Jurgens stepped in, a lot like Brock Hoffman, a lot like TJ Bass, and you haven't seen much of a drop-off. Of course, he's not Kelce. He's not Kelce. But guess what, though? The other guys around on Kelce's bill were allowed to get better. They were allowed to be around him. They were allowed to get that wisdom. They took heed to that wisdom. And look at them now. They were able to take a step. So everybody else took a step up. Maybe that position took a step down, but they still gotten better as a unit. That unit is just as good as it was 2 years ago. It is. I mean, and the numbers speak. And then they got a back, and they said, you know what? Nah, we gonna go over the top. Like, we've had Miles Sanders, and we were good. We had Swift, and it was good. But you know what, though? They ain't never had trust in a running back like they got Saquon. They ain't never had it. So sometimes you got to go out on faith. You got to trust your own building, right? That's what y'all say we do, right? We draft and we develop, right? So this will be Zach's third contract cycle at this point. And I'm taking a little bit of time because, to be honest, you can't just say cut Zach Martin. Zach Martin is trash. You can't, like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that like people be doing with Zeke. Not going to do it. Even though there's a double standard there, and that's kind of why I wanted to bring up Zach. There's a double standard there. You know, Zach fell off same way y'all said Zeke fell off. And we don't give the same type of criticism. Y'all give him grace. I mean, at this point, Ty, you know what? Nah, I'm not with that. I'm not with let him walk like Tyron. Or don't cut him, let him walk. Nah, cut him. Y'all cut Emmett. I'm not above cutting nobody if y'all cut Emmett. Emmett's my favorite player of all time. And guess what? I understood it. I understood it. I ain't like it. I didn't like it. But they cut Emmett. I think they cut Troy. I don't know what happened. Did Michael retire? I don't know. But I'm just saying this, right? Nobody's above the game. Nobody's above the game. I don't give a damn how long you've been a Cowboy. And I feel like with the Jason Wittens, I feel like with the LVE, I don't even know why LVE was giving that damn grace. I don't understand that. But with the LVEs, the Sean Lees, like, for some odd reason, y'all don't want to let them go. Man, cut their ass, bro. Cut them. If somebody picked them up and they get the opportunity, they got some tread, and they still want to play, cool. We cut Romo too. You know what I'm saying? Hell, we cut Dez. And Dez still could play. We cut Dez. Like, the whole thing is, right? Yeah, Sean Lee did get a whole ass press conference, but Dez was our touchdown leader. You know what I'm saying? Like, which that'll take me to another place, bro. That'll take me to a whole another place. The whole thing is, bro, as great as Zach Martin has been, and Hall of Famer, Emmitt Smith was a Hall of Famer, was a first round, was a first ballot, and we cut him. So, I mean, at the end of the day, bro, you gotta stop being nice, and we gotta stop being nice with this roster because that's what we're building. We're building cookie cutter crap for certain individuals. Guess what? Your real dogs on the team, they see that, they see what you cater to, and they become that. They become that. So, pop that damn balloon on Zach Martin. Pop that shit. It is what it is. And Brock Hoffman, I'm keeping my balloon. I'm keeping my balloon. And that doesn't keep me away from, in the mid rounds, if it makes sense to go ahead and try and get a guard or another swing guard or something like that, or another tackle or something like that. It doesn't keep me from doing that. Ooh, Sadika. Oh, man. Ooh-wee. Hold on. They were afraid of Dez. CFO Sports. Cowboys got pissed at, my boy Tuck, got pissed at Jane Slater because she interviewed Dez when he got cut. That's why she's treated the way they do her. I didn't know that. But this organization is just afraid of people that talk. They're afraid of people that have brands. See, the issue they have with Dez too, if you listen to the Pivot interview, and honestly, bro, Tuck, I would love for you to introduce me to Dez one day because I have so many things, so many questions, bro. It ain't even about getting on live or anything like that. I have so many questions because when we cut Dez, bro, I was emotional. I went out and took a break at work, and I went off, bro. I went all the way off. I went all the way off on that because you don't cut people like to me at the time where he still had tread in his tires. I think he took a lot of flack for Dak developing. He took a lot of flack too because Zeke got suspended and we didn't have the year that we were supposed to have. I mean, with guys like that, he has a championship mentality in my opinion. We cut dogs, bro. We try and neuter dogs all the time. We try and neuter pit bulls, and we try and make them show it's kind of crazy. Like we want the, if you ever watch them little dog shows or whatnot, like we want the dogs to prance around and look pretty and all that type of stuff. So it don't matter if we get stuck with a pit bull. We trying to prance around with a damn pit bull. And so what we do is, first thing you do when you get that pit bull is you try and neuter him. And sometimes I feel like with this organization, they don't want people. What's the term? Like the prisoners are running the asylum or something like that. I think they get so worried about players building their brands and becoming bigger than what the star is. I think they get worried about stuff like that. So they try and control how your brand grows. And so how do they do that? When you're young, there are some people that are impressionable. So I could throw a damn Stetson on you. We could throw them cowboy boots on you. And we can tell you what to do and you're going to do it. And you're going to shut up. Even if we talking bad about you. Even if I don't know if y'all remember Dez negotiations. But Dez negotiations were terrible, bro. It was probably some of the most. It probably was some of the most emotional, racking stuff ever because they brought up stuff that didn't matter, stuff that wasn't true. They brought up stuff that wasn't true to bring him down to people and to make people hate him. They did the same thing with Zeke. Like, you spent all this time defending Zeke. You spent all this time defending him when we had that window to win. But when it was contract time, then all that stuff came back up. And it's like, what are we talking about, bro? What are we doing? What are we doing? I'm still waiting on that video too, Brian. I'm still waiting on it, bro. So Tuck, those are the type of things, bro, that behind closed doors, bro, three-way conversations, whatever. Like I would love to ask questions like that, dog. Like, because quite frankly, man, and I talk about this all the time. And I know we were supposed to be on the red balloon and all that type of stuff, but I had a conversation with Sky Steele yesterday. And I said to myself, bro, if my son becomes a really, really good player, and I know Dez has a son around the same age, which is crazy. Dez has a son the same age as my son. If my son ever blows up, he asked me this question. He said to me, and look, I don't put the pressure on him to blow up. Quite frankly, I don't know what he's going to become. I just know he loves the sport. I know he wants to work. But he asked me, he said, yo, Dad, would you want me to play for the Cowboys? Y'all know what I told him? No. No. I told him no. Because I watched what we did to Dez. I watched what we did to Zeke. I watch what we do to players that look like them. Look, I'm going to keep it a buck, bro. I watch what we do to players that look like them. Now, do I think my son is more like a Dak? You know what I'm saying? My son will fall in line. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's a really good kid. He's a really good kid, a really coachable kid. So he probably will fall in line. But I will watch them and watch how they move and watch how the people, like our fans, talk about them and how our fans move towards what these narratives are, what these bad takes and these bad narratives are, things that aren't true, things that they can't fight back. Because our guys are taught not to fight back, but when they fight back, then, you know, we have an issue with it. And I'm guilty of it too. I do wish that our guys would stop tweeting and stuff so much and stop fighting against us so much. But, I mean, after a while, you can't get mad at them. You can't get mad at them for wanting to defend themselves because the organization sure as hell ain't defending them. They sure as hell ain't defending them, dog. So, I mean, in a way, like, nah, I told him no. Appreciate you, B Bird, for the deuce. Dogs come here and turns to corporate cowboys. Absolutely. Absolutely. I gotta heart that. I think I can heart that. I don't know. But absolutely. The Cowboys are where dogs come to die. Where dogs come to die. So then when y'all asking to sign a Derrick Henry, or we asking to sign a D-Hop, or whoever, right? Oh, let me put my charger in. We asking to sign dogs in like from other places. Why would you want to come here? Look, perfect example, right? I played at Howard. University. I had this cousin, my cousin Irv Swerve. And he was transferring from Virginia Tech at the time. And I was at Howard. I was at the end of, like, the coaching. They had a coaching change. I was a walk-on. They had a coaching change. They wanted to clean house or whatever, right? So I ain't mad at them. It is what it is. It's a business. And they felt like I wasn't what they wanted because I was obviously with the I was obviously with the regime before, and the regime before loved me. So I get it. You know, stuff like that happens. I wasn't their guy. But I watched how they moved. And it wasn't like that coaching staff. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're good guys. But how they moved, how they treated people, how they talked to us, how they undressed everybody, and all those type of things with how they would, like, I mean, it was like they were calling players the F word. Like, and I'm not talking about the 4-letter word. You know what I'm saying? Openly. Like, I mean, just crazy. Like, I mean, they were trying to figure out who was gay, who, like, I mean, it was a way of trying to figure out who was soft, who wasn't, all that type of stuff, right? They never did that to me. But one day, and I think this is why I got cut, because, I mean, I was a walk-on, so I was also an engineering student. And I said I had to go to lab because I'm an engineering student, bro. So that was the only time the lab was offered. And my running back coach, who wasn't playing me, who wasn't fighting for me in rooms, who, you know, was young. So I think he was about 23 years old. The running back coach said to me, "You always going to class. Like, when you going to worry about football?" And I looked at him in his eye and I said, "Bro, y'all not paying for my education. I'm paying for my education. My parents are paying for my education. We're both paying for my education. When y'all can give me some money, then I'll stay. But this is the only time I can go to my lab, and I need to pass my class, bro." And I think that at that moment, I think that's when I got cut. Because they didn't really bring in anybody better. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about that. And I knew that. And my teammates told me that. My teammates love me, bro. If you have any of my teammates like that have channels, I know my boy does Miami Dolphins fence tape with CB. Go ask him. Ask him if I was a good player. Ask him if I should have been cut. You know what I'm saying? I got multiple guys. I played with Antoine Bethea, who was with the Colts, who won Super Bowls. You ask him. My boy Jeff Pope played with the Giants, won the ring. You ask him. You ask those guys. They like I don't. So I'm not going to boast and brag, but I say all this to say, when Irv asked me, "Yo, I'm thinking about coming to Howard." I met a strength and conditioning coach. I love the strength and conditioning coach. He was my guy. He's my guy. He's the reason that I coach today. He's the reason that I have this channel, because I'm contributing to the game without being able to do it anymore. So he asked me, should he come to Howard? I told him, hell no. Don't you come over here. Don't you come over here. Because I love my cousin. Love him. Don't you come over here. And crazy thing is I had only met him, like, I hadn't met him when he was younger. I met him when he was playing. And we built a rapport. And we were texting. And we were talking to each other. And I was so proud of him. I had never met him, but I was so proud of him for going to Virginia Tech. You know what I'm saying? He won a state championship when he was in school. And he was a smaller guy, but he was speedy. And I was so proud of him for being over at Tech. I followed everything. I remember when they were trying to recruit him. They had his numbers and everything in the office and all that type of stuff. And I would have told him to come for the last regime. But for that regime, I watched how they treated people. And I said, nah, can't do it, bro. Can't do it. Do not come over here. Don't do it. I never told them what transpired. I never told them that I watched a coach and one of my teammates fighting in the tunnel. I never told them none of that type of stuff. I never told them some of the crazy things that were going on. Never told them. But I told him, don't come over here. And he ended up having a really good career over at Liberty University. So shout out to Irv. Shout out to him. But I say all that to say, you think players ain't doing that for the people that they love, that they admire, that they working out with, who might have been a teammate somewhere else? You think they ain't telling them what's going on here? Now, sure, they might have built a life for themselves, a good little life, and the stars helped and all of that type of stuff. But I'm gonna tell you this. I mean, I don't know. I just know that I watch how I'm watching with kid gloves, or I'm handling it with kid gloves, but I got my eyes on it because CD got signed. So I mean, he's here for a while. And the way that he produced with a bum shoulder this year, proud of bro. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of Micah. But I'm watching because I know Micah ain't neutered yet. They tried to. They've been trying to. Micah been fighting him. He been fighting him. He been fighting him. He been fighting him. But we need to protect him because he's our last shot, y'all. He's our last shot. That's who we need to build around. We need to build around 11. We need to build around 88. Those are our leaders. And that's why Zach Martin got to get that damn pop. That's why D-Law up there too. D-Law, I'm going to bring D-Law name up there because I already didn't said, I want Brock. D-Law, I don't even know if he's up for free agency, but D-Law got to go. I think he is. Unfortunately, it has nothing to do with play. Again, it's not about being selfish. It's not about being selfish. It's not about me not loving D-Law as a player. It's not about me not admiring D-Law as a player. It's not about that at all. I think D-Law should be able to go somewhere else if he still has tread on the tires and go compete for a championship. But keeping him here, I don't think that puts us over the hump. And we're only going to pay him more money. We're only going to pay him more money. And we're not going to get the type of production because he's older. And the expectations of keeping him here is only going to make things worse. D-Law, to me, I got to pop the balloon. I know Keystone want to keep him, but I gotta pop the balloon because I watched something. I watched Micah try and change the guard. I watched him on, what's up, Angry Cowboys fan? How you feeling, bro? How you feeling? Just having my morning coffee, man. Oh, man, and yeah, hit me up, dog. Let's do some work. I'd love to come over to your channel again, bro. I would love to come over there. Like, everybody ain't got to come over here. I'll go over there and show love. But yeah, like Ty Church said, Carl Lawson. I'm watching Carl Lawson. I'm watching Golston. Like, those are people in their snaps we wouldn't be able to see. And we're watching them fight and scratch and claw and all that. We're watching them do that. We're watching that. Do I want to hinder that? No. You want to know why we're watching those guys scratch and claw? Because 11 is scratching and clawing. And 11 is following the scheme. And 11 is busting his ass. And 11 is willing to die for his teammates and speak up for them and do all those type of things. A type of energy that we haven't had since 88, but the other 88, Dez, that they wanted gone. I'm watching it. And I think that's why D-Law has to go. I watched him fight on the sideline. I watched that. D-Law's not going to get in line for Micah. He's not going to do it. Because he's been here too long. He knows the organization. Upstairs, they love him too much. He got too many skins on the wall, but the skins haven't won anything. Y'all check out my guy, Angry Cowboys fan. He working on the video. He working on something right now. He working on something, and I'm pretty sure he gonna cook with it. But what I'm saying is, D-Law, we talk about progress stoppers. I think Zach Martin and D-Law right now, I think they're progress stoppers. And I don't think that they should have the option to continue. Now, if they want to go test the market, and on the market they don't find what it is they looking for, and we didn't fill that void, that's different. And then D-Law has no choice but to bend the knee to who should be leading this team. Like, every time we look, Zach Martin and D-Law, they looked at as leaders. Like, we appoint captains and we say that's your leaders. No, leaders and captains aren't the same thing. I forget who said it. But leaders and captains aren't the same thing. And I think that that's what gets misconstrued here. You know what I'm saying? They let too many people control their own destiny as far as how long they play here. By extending them and keep extending them and keep extending them and keep extending them. That's why all of y'all be wanting 10-year starters. Y'all don't want impact. Y'all keep getting talked in to these projects that's supposed to come in, and then they get every opportunity. And then when they show that they have a little bit of flash, then y'all say, okay, the front office is right. We gotta put the foot to the fire and start saying these things. We got to start saying these things, bro. Y'all think D-Law would have stayed in Philly as long? Look, I hate the Eagles, bro. I'm going to keep it 100. I'm going to keep it a buck. I can't stand the Eagles, bro. I hate the Eagles with every fiber of my being. But that doesn't mean that I can't admire some of the things that they do. And you want to know what Philly does very, very well? I think Howie learned this. We talked about it on Cover 3 the other day. Howie learned that at any point his job can be taken. Their owner is willing to pull. If there's a coach that comes in here with more skins on the wall, their owner will pull a plug on Howie and say, yeah, nah, he get full control. Howie is GMing for his life every single day. You think D-Law gonna tell him that he can stay whenever he wants to? Or Sean Lee or LVE? Hell no. He just sat here and let Hassan Reddick go at the top of his game, bro. He let him go at the top of his game. And guess what? They always seem to have a million picks. They always seem to have a million picks. And it always seemed like they got an infinity stone when it comes to the damn salary cap. Howie is GMing for his life. And I gotta respect it. I gotta respect it, dog. Have to. You think he gonna let go of AJ Brown? Cause AJ Brown is having some issues? Hell no. Hell no. Now I get it. Hassan Reddick was a dog, and he let him go. But it just made sense for him to do that. Don't make sense for them to let AJ Brown go. Don't make sense. They'd be crazy to do that. He ain't gonna do that. No. You want to know why? Because Howie trying to win, bro. Howie's job ain't to sell tickets, bro. That's not in his job description. Howie's job is to make the roster the very best that it can be, and to keep that young talent cycling in and out. You think he wanted to let go of Hassan Reddick? I don't think he did. But guess what? You drafted Nolan Smith. You used a first-round pick on that. And he had enough time to watch. Nolan Smith is starting to turn the corner. Jalen Carter. Everybody else said, nah, I'm good. That was a trash-ass combine workout. You got in trouble. I'm good. Howie said, turn on the MF and tape. Turn on the tape. I'm going to get him. Tuck, you here? How do we feel about Jalen Carter, even with all that stuff, bro? We didn't give a damn, bro. And Jay Recruiter's right. The Eagles have missed a bunch, but they keep going. When they miss, they make up for it. When we miss, we don't. And Dak bails us out as best as he can. To the point now where I don't think Dak can do it anymore. To the point that I don't think that Dak can compensate for their mistakes. It wore Romo out too. Bro, the organization makes a ton of mistakes that they don't make up for. And we get mad at the players for not bailing us out every time. We get mad at that, bro. Like, I don't know what else to say. All I can say is your owner and GM probably shouldn't be the same thing, because as an owner, your job is to sell tickets. That's not a GM's job, but you're the same person. And then, we will give a lot of credit to Will McClay, but it's like we don't know what Will McClay's job is. We don't know what Will McClay is supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know whether to blame Will McClay or not blame Will McClay. I do know he's part of the formula, but I don't know if he's not the GM. You know what I'm saying? Like the way we handle it, we don't know who's doing what, who's in charge of what. So it's hard to blame. But 2 out of the 3 people aren't going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. So that's where I can't really blame Will McClay. But if they're talking about not extending him, okay. What's different? I mean, we were going to the playoffs and losing in the first round without Will McClay. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I mean, we can talk about who should stay. How about this? We can go to the coaches now because I already brought up a couple players. And Tuck, I didn't bring up everybody. We should probably do that on Cover 3. It might be cool. It might have been a cool, like, preview of some of the things that we can do on Cover 3. Because we ain't owned by nobody. Nobody can buy our voice. Nobody can buy our voice. Everything that we talk about, we can look up and we can stand on our word. Like, we not riding the wave of what we think people want to hear. You know what I'm saying? Like, we not going to ride by the wave and ride the wave. I know Tuck love Drake, but we ain't going to be the Drakes. We ain't going to be the Drakes of this Cowboy fan base. Shout out to Professor O. Oh, appreciate B-Bird for the $5. Biggest problem with this team is that people in control can't lose their jobs, which means they have no incentive to go all in. 17-0 or 0-17. So what I will say is they feeling it right now. And this is where our voice is the loudest, guys. This is where our voice needs to be the loudest. We gotta be louder now than we've ever been about what it is that we want because they do listen. We said we wanted Dak to run. Like, we put that out there, and guess what? Dak ass was running the next week, tore his hamstring off the bone. Tore his hamstring off the bones. You know what I'm saying? Because his body ain't equipped to do that no more. You know what I'm saying? His body not equipped to do that no more. It just isn't. So we were able to talk them into damn running Dak. So trust me, they're listening. They listen. They will listen. So now we just gotta, the things that we say it's gotta be like, your words got to be impeccable. So the arguments and the things that we're saying, they got to make sense, bro. They can't fall into what we think they want to do. And then that's our argument. Like, oh, you don't draft a running back in the first round just because you don't draft a running back in the first round. Why wouldn't you be open to drafting a running back in the first round? It's worked for them. It's worked for us. I can't think of a time it didn't work. Now, if you want to say a 10-year starter, name a time that having a 10-year starter. How many championships has that won? Because we get 10-year starters all the damn time. Nah. See, Howie, you think when Howie's drafting for 10 years down the line? No. Howie got to win right now. Howie needs people to go out there and make some shit shake. And if they don't, he got to figure out how to mitigate that. You know what we do? We just keep throwing the person out there, except for Guyton. Like, at this point, like, they were just like, yeah, nah, it's not working. Got our quarterback killed. Got our quarterback murked out there. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. So I kind of want to talk about something yesterday. Tuck and Dez, they did a interview on Dez Bryant's X Picks. I think that's the name of the channel, Tuck. Can you plug it for the people so they can go rewatch it when they get a chance? Angry Cowboys fan, nah, I wouldn't take a left tackle. I wouldn't. And, Cover 3, we're going to do draft talk on that, but I wouldn't take a left tackle because I like our line, personally. I like it, and I just think we need to keep building with it. They just need experience. But Dez got on, right? I asked Dez a question about his college coach at Oklahoma State. So Y'all don't know who Gunter Brewer is. Like, I'm a student of the game. So I was a wide receiver coach for about 10 years. And when I started coaching receivers, I was more of a running back. I was a good receiver when I played, but I didn't study the craft like that. And when I was at Howard University, I used to watch. So Alvin Harper was our like assistant OC, but he was the wide receivers coach. And I used to watch some of the drills and stuff he did. So I knew that it took a lot more craft than what people thought. Like the footwork, the cone drills. You know what I'm saying? Foot fire. How to sell. Vertical and everything. Like I knew that it took a lot more. So the first thing that I did was I reached out to best receiver that I ever known, Jerron Williams, and I asked him what to do. He told me cone drills, all this type of stuff. But first couple years, I wasn't getting the results out of the kids that I wanted, because the kids that I were getting, I wasn't getting the most talented kids on the team. So I had to kind of cookie cutter it a certain way. I had to be able to try and make something out of nothing a lot of the times. So what I wanted to do was create something so that if you were talented, we weren't gonna miss. But if you were somebody that didn't have the talent, you were gonna be able to develop. And so I had to kind of create a program. So I looked and I sat and I said, who got the best receivers in college? You know what I'm saying? Because they have to have some drills that I could look at. They gotta have something out there. There has to be a guide. So I'm looking. And Clemson at the time was putting out receivers like crazy. So I was looking at EDDs. If you don't know what an EDD is, that's an everyday drill. So that's something that you do in indies every day, individual drills. So I was looking at them, and all of a sudden I came across this wide receiver coach on Twitter from North Carolina. His name was Gunter Brewer. And he had YouTube videos. So I'm looking. I'm like, oh, okay. Gunter Brewer, blah, blah, blah. So I started looking. I'm like, okay, he coached at Oklahoma State. Oh, okay, he coached at Marshall. So it turns out that Coach Gunter Brewer coached Randy Moss and Dez Bryant. So I used to reach out to him on Twitter, ask questions and stuff like that. Like Coach Brew, I got his number in my phone right now, and I could text Coach Brew. And I think that he went back to Marshall. I'm not sure, but he was at Virginia Tech last year. I forget where he went, but he's been all over the place. He's even been a Philadelphia Eagle. He was a Philadelphia Eagle wide receiver coach. Coach Brew moves everywhere. But when I looked at his stuff, it was some of the most detailed but simple things that I could teach a young player. So I implement a lot of what he teaches. I implement it. And so last night I wanted to ask Dez. I said, yeah, Stevie Mack, you're right. Yep, the tight end coach. So I asked somebody the question, because I know somebody. So Set It Off Chris. I was with Set It Off Chris last week. I went to 757 and he showed my son. He took my son to this trainer where his son goes. His son's at Virginia Tech right now. So I asked about Coach Brew. He said Coach Brew went to Marshall as a tight end coach. And I'm like, damn, he moved everywhere. But that's beside the point. I bought these DVDs. I met Coach Brew in person for the first time at a coach's clinic last year. And if you guys are going to the Glazier clinics out in Dulles this year in the DMV area, I'll be there. But I met him last year. I sat in on his class. I told him, like, hey, I'm trying to help my son become more of a pass catcher. What are some of the things I can do? I bought some DVDs. I bought the DVDs of Dez Bryant, of Randy Moss. I got those DVDs on how to work on being a better receiver. So I have them. So if I ever meet Dez, I'll be like, bro, I got this DVD. Like, do you want a copy? So yeah, Coach Brew, I asked Dez, I said, like, can you, I had the opportunity to meet him. Can you talk about what Coach Brew meant to you as a player, developing, and he got emotional. And he talked about how Coach Brew, there's no Dez Bryant without Coach Brew and all that stuff. He talked about that. And then he went on this tirade about how You know, people talked about how he was uncoachable, how he can't be coached and all that, and how it was crazy narratives. And he talked about why he didn't like Jason Garrett. Talked about Jason Garrett didn't like him before he got there and all that stuff. So y'all go check that out. But I say all that to say, bro, the organization finds ways to neuter our players. They find ways to do it, even the most coachable dogs, the guys with talent. They don't want them to have a voice. They want them to be nerds. They want our guys to be nerds, and they want them to be house Negroes. And they want them to wear Stetsons, and they want every they want every tight end and linebacker to be Jay Novacek. Keep it what it is. I'm gonna keep it 100. They want all of our black players to be Tiger Woods, and they want all of our white players to be Jay Novacek. Yeah, I said it. It is what it is. Somebody prove me wrong. Prove me different. The moment I saw Ferg and Henny had the most swag. They had some of the most swag out of white players I'd seen. I'm like, and they played the tight end position too. They played the tight end position, so I'm watching them. And I'm like, damn, these boys got swag. Damn if they ain't split their ass up and they threw a Stetson on Jake Ferguson and say, here you go. This is what we want you to be. Y'all tell me where I'm lying. Go look at Jake Ferguson Instagram right now and tell me that's the same Jake Ferguson that we had. The Jake Ferguson that we love. Jake ain't really broke a tackle since he put that damn Stetson on. Yeah, look. CFO said I thought Henny was mixed. They sure as hell got their ass. They separated them. They drafted a vanilla ice cream ass a schoolmaker, and they got Henny ass up out of here. They got Henny up out of here. And confidence is a thing, right? So I'm not saying that Henny was playing the very, very best ball, but I know that he was good enough to keep developing. And I know that we probably tried to change him. We probably tried to change him, and he couldn't play like that. Nah, Schoon don't go hard, bro. Schoon regular as hell. And that's part of the problem. Schoon is a second-round pick, and we're clapping hard for 3 or 4 catches. We clapping for 3 or 4 catches, bro. He was a second-round pick. We just like him because Ferg ain't playing as well. Let's just keep it 100. Like, Schoon ain't out there like just a mismatch problem or anything like that. We like him because Ferg fell off. And same thing about Rico. We don't like Rico because Rico is one of the best in the league. We like him because Zeke fell off. And he's the best back on. He's better than Zeke. So you can say, aha, ha ha, Zeke fell off. Look at Rico. That's why y'all like Rico, bro. Y'all don't like Rico for real. You let Rico, like, no disrespect to Rico. Again, I'm glad bro getting the bag. I'm glad he getting his opportunity because a lot of people, it's a blessing to have the year that Rico is having. So not anybody can just do what Rico's doing. I don't want to make that. I don't want to make it that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of backs that have played that have never eclipsed 1,000 yards. There's a lot of them that have done that. And I still don't think that we use Rico the very best that we can. I don't think we use Rico the very best that we can. I do think that Rico can play winning football. But y'all don't really like Rico like that. Angry Cowboys fan, I can salute that, bro. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. And Rico was good this year. But that's not stopping me from getting something better than Rico. Because they might get him cheaper. But then y'all see that Rico signed a deal. And y'all be all over Rico ass next year. That's actually why I'm saying this right now. I'm saying this right now because if Rico does return, I don't have an issue with it. Unless we decide not to get better and that he's our bell cow. then I have an issue. Then I have an issue. Then I got an issue with that. You know what, Keystone? I don't know that Rico don't like Zeke. I did see him leaving hanging that one time, but I've seen them talk since then. I've seen them talk since then. I've seen them interact. So I don't know that Rico don't like Zeke. And quite frankly, I don't think anybody was happy about the running back room early on in the year. I don't think anybody was happy about it. I don't think Rico was happy not getting touches. And he wasn't getting touches because of Zeke. Nobody was getting touches. They weren't using anybody. How do I feel about... But yeah, about Rico. Like, I don't want Rico to sign here, us not do nothing, and then y'all blame him. All Rico did was what Rico was supposed to do. He got his bag. He got the very most out of what it is that he offers. But pedigree matters, bro. And I keep trying to tell y'all. Somebody, like, for example, somebody asked me how I feel about Scatterbo. The same way I felt about him before that game. Scatterbo probably like the 15th best running back in his class. The same way I felt about him. And we'll break it down. We'll get into that. But Scatterbo ain't that much different than Hunter Lipke. You go look at Hunter Lipke's tape, and their tape is very much the same. Guys that aren't really agile, that aren't as athletic. You know what I'm saying? They got one or two jump cuts for a white dude, and y'all like it. You know what I'm saying? So you think because the numbers say this, but like in all actuality, like this is what I don't want to do. I don't want to dog Scatterbo out because y'all are going to hype him and devalue what Genty is, what Hampton is, what Judkins is, what Henderson is, like what Cam out of Iowa is. Like, I just named probably about 6 or 7 backs. And I ain't even go to the list. About 6 or 7 backs that have pedigree that are way better than him, bro. Way better. And they're younger, too. Scatterbo about to be 23 during this draft cycle. Like, y'all like the story, bro. Like, that's the thing. And that's kind of what I'm trying to get away from. And I don't want to dog the player out. Because I do think that he has good tape. I want to see what he does with the process because maybe he runs better than I think he will, but I don't think he. I think he's probably like a 4.6 back or something like that. Some people are fit for college. Some people are fit for some people will be better pros. I just don't think his pedigree is better than a lot of the people we're talking about. So that's not me dogging him out or anything like that. That's just me not falling for the hype. And I know he killed Texas, but Texas and Penn State are two different entities. Penn State is trying to stop people, and Texas is trying to outscore everybody. There's a difference. Texas is SEC from the Big 12. No, he's not different, Keystone. He ain't different, bro. He's not. You know what I'm saying? He almost beat Texas. Texas be trying to outscore folks, bro. Penn State trying to stop you. Penn State recruits for a reason in that box, in that front 7. They were more equipped to deal with Genty, and I watched it take an entire team to have to deal with him. And I'm sitting here watching some people say, Scatterbo, I like his tape better than Genty's. What? Bro, we crazy. We crazy. We crazy. We crazy, bro. And that's what I want to get away from. Us loving stories. We like stories better than we like winning. We like stories better than we like pedigree. Like, come on, dog. Like, Jalen Tolbert, y'all trying to keep him? Y'all trying to keep him as the number 2, though. I don't have a problem with him working his way and being on the roster or anything like that. I don't have an issue with it. Hopefully he can get... Somebody said Zeke is faster than Scatterbo. Absolutely. And Angry Cowboys fan said it. Angry Cowboy fan said it. Recency bias. We got to stop that mess, bro. We got to stop that. We got to stop that. I mean, Big Sarge, we'll see how he runs, but dog. I mean, I don't know. This is why this is why we got to break down the people we got to break down. Because I watch Jay Tuck every year say some guys are good and they end up being good. I watch me say some guys are going to be good and they end up being good. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we just don't like those type of players. We just don't like those type of players. Pedigree, dog. Pedigree. Dog. Y'all, we got to stop trying to find the perfect fit. And we got to draft pedigree. And we got to fit our culture around the pedigree. I remember Bill Belichick won 6 rings. None of them 6 teams looked the same. They all look different based on the talent they were able to accumulate and how you reach that talent. How you reach that talent. Like, we keep trying to fit everybody to our culture that don't effing win nothing. We don't win, dog. We don't win. We don't bring in people that win. All it is the blind leading the blind. But I'll say this about Jerry, right? Because I was talking to my guy Foots the other day, and he told me, like, I don't talk about Jerry on my channel. I just keep it football, right? And for me, I only talk about Jerry when it is football. I know what Jerry is as a brander, as a marketer, and all that stuff. Jerry is probably the best. Appreciate you for posting that link, Tuck. Appreciate you. Jerry's probably the best owner in the game. Hands down. Easy. But ownership and being the GM don't mix. It just don't. And a lot of times we're drafting people we can mold in the sell tickets. We don't care about winning. We don't care about winning more than we care about making money. And if that's your GM and owner, if they're the same person, he's going to pick money over winning every time. So they're not getting people to fit in for championship culture. They're getting people to fit in so that they can plug them in and keep the machine going. Damn, I felt that point. I felt that myself. They getting people to plug in and keep the machine going. They're not getting people to win. They didn't want Micah for real. Think about it. They didn't want Micah. Micah fell to them. I don't think they really wanted CD. CD fell to them. And those 2 players alone are better at their positions and what they do than anything we've had. Yeah, I'll say it. I think CD right now is better than Dez was. I love Dez. I love Dez. You know, as a player, like, man, you know, I still can't get rid of my 88 Bryant jersey upstairs. Can't get rid of it. And Surtain wouldn't have been a bad pick. Tuck, I like Surtain too. I like them. That wouldn't have been a bad pick. But they didn't want Micah. And Micah was the best defensive player in the draft. I just didn't think we would get Micah. I just didn't think that we would get Micah. So in my mind, I fought that. And I found myself doing that. Tuck, I'm not even one of the people. I'm one of the people you was talking about, dog. Where you said Micah. And in my mind, I said, nah. Because they're going to mess him up. He'd be better somewhere else. We don't need to get Micah. He'd be better. And I still believe that. I still believe if Micah was in Pittsburgh, like, if Micah was in Philly, like, man, I still kind of believe that. I think he's bucking against he's going against what we typically have because he's just a different breed. We almost messed him up. Let's just keep it 100. Everybody got hurt. D-Law got hurt. Y'all ever notice that we always improve when D-Law get hurt? I didn't even mean to say it like that, but like when we're focused when we have to lean on Micah, that's when we're at our best. when we're forced to lean on Micah is when we are our best. That should tell you all you need to know. That should tell you how great of a player he is. That should tell you guys. I think everybody else knows how great of a player Micah is, except our fan base sometimes because he has a podcast. And we got to stop that, bro. Bro, pedigree is pedigree, and alphas are alphas. And we got to continue to bring in alphas. That's the only way we're going to get better. Kansas City doesn't stop bringing in alphas. They don't believe in that. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all, man. I've been on longer. I probably need to get on with my work day. And I really do appreciate y'all so much for tuning in. I'm going to try and do more morning lives, you know what I'm saying, after Tuck. Tuck did a great job this morning. A lot of people tuned in. I'm going to try and do this a lot more. Make sure if you haven't, hit that like button on the way out. You know what I'm saying? Salute to you guys. And, you know what I'm saying, cover 3 next week. We going to be on it. But if y'all haven't had an opportunity, there's 2 things I want y'all to check out. If you got some time today, go check out that Dez interview that Tuck put in. He put the link in the description. And also, I want you guys to go check out that cover 3 episode that we did. It's on all 3 of our channels. It's on my channel. It's on Rome's channel. It's on Tuck's. If you can, just go to all of them and hit the like. It is what it is. But go check out that inaugural cover 3 episode. And we're going to keep that fire coming to y'all, man. So we out. Salute. Peace.